Okay, so a quick little check. This is based on yesterday's homework, just so that I want to make sure we understand density and a little wrap up of what we did yesterday. Okay, so there's a couple of examples right here. So for example, set A, I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements here. So the numerator is 6, and then the denominator is the difference between the biggest and the smallest number. So 14 minus 2 gives you 12. So 6 divided by 12 gives you 0.5. Do you have to change it to a decimal? No, but it also ties into today's lesson when you compare fractions of different denominator. Decimal, you can use it to cheat. to Instead of doing lowest common denominator, you can just compare the decimal, and then you can see the higher the number, the more dense it is. So for the first set right here, who has the fraction for me for the first set? Sorry, I'm gonna pick on some people. Daniel. Okay, so let's work on it together. So how many numbers are in this set? 5, yeah, so 5. And then your biggest number minus your smallest number. So what's your biggest number here? Okay, and your smallest? Less than that. Less than that. So your smallest number in this whole set. Yeah. Okay. -2 is the smallest number. And if you count it, so -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll wait, no, from -2, so -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that the range is 7. All right, so 5 over 7. All right, because the two negatives make it a plus, so 5 plus 7. And then here, again, you can change it to a decimal using your calculator. My calculator. So 5 divided by 7. You get about 0.714. Okay, I saw a lot of people put 0.72. Okay, so rounding error. So this was your decimal. So if this is a 4, that means this stays as a 1. So 0.71. Okay, if you were to round to 2 decimal place. All right. So Yun, can you help me with the second one? Yep. Good. Good. And as a decimal, that's 0. Okay. So 0.6. Good. Yeah. So again, you don't have to do a calculator. Sorry, you don't have to change it to a decimal, but it's just a little easier to compare the fractions. Okay. This third set, Hussein.
3 over 3 minus 1.
Yep.
3 over 2.
Mm-hmm.
1.5.
Perfect. So which set is the most dense? Z, yeah, because it's the highest. Okay. Number 2, Max, can you help me with number 2?
So range from 2 to 10. So I listed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
That would be, there are 9 elements.
Yep.
So 9 over 10 minus 2. So that's 9 over 8, 1.1.
9 over 8. Let's see what's the decimal. 9 over 8. Let's say round to 2 decimal place. If I round to this to 2 decimal place, what is it going to be? 1.13. Because the third one is a 5, so we round up. So 1.13. Good job. Okay, so do we have a better understanding of density now? Okay, good. So let's move on to today's lesson. If you had any trouble with this, remember there were some practice questions from the homework. So go back to it, try a few more if you need to, or come to me for extra help. I'll be happy to give you a few more examples. So let's move on to today's. which this ties in to today's lesson on fractions, comparing fractions. So page 13, please. Page 13. Page 13. Page 13. Okay. So let's do the first one right here. Okay. So a half and a third. So which one is bigger? The easiest way, and I know this is probably how your elementary teacher taught you guys, is think of the pizza. Okay. I have half a pizza and a third of a pizza. Which one has more? The half, right? And so we have this symbol right here to show that this is bigger than this. So I think your teacher taught you guys the alligator mouth. Okay, so the one with a mouth is the bigger side, so half is greater than a third. But this one seems pretty straightforward. We can easily visualize it. But what if it was something not as easy to see? So let's just say this one right here. I I don't know. Let's say I don't know which one is easier. And that's because one pizza is cut into 6 slices and the other one is cut into 4 slices. So to compare apple to apple, what do we need? If I want to compare the two pizza, same denominator, right? I want both pizza to be cut into the same number of slices. Then I will know which pizza has more slices. So between 6 and a 4, what's your lowest common denominator? 12, yes. Okay, 12 is the lowest common denominator between them. So 6 times 2 gives you 12. So 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. 4 times 3 gives you 12. So 1 times 3 gives you 3. Okay. Now that both pizza are out of 12 slices as a whole, I can tell that this is bigger. Because this pizza has 3 slices, whereas this pizza only has 2 slices. Okay. Anyone know the name of these? When 1/4 equals 3/12, what are those type of fractions called? 1/4 equals 3/12. What are these fractions called? When two fractions, yeah, and what are they are equal? So they are. Anyone know the proper term? You know? Okay, Max is like, I know it. Okay, so equivalent fractions. Okay, so those are equivalent fractions. Order the following fractions from the least to the greatest. Okay, so I could so notice all the numerators are 1 right here. So the smaller the denominator, the bigger your pizza slice, basically. Okay, so this is a nice easy one where I can just reorder based on the denominator. But let's say this was a multiple choice question on the test. Okay, what do you think is the easiest way to do a multiple choice question where I don't have to show any work? I can use whatever method I want. Calculator, that's right. So I could 1/5 is the same as just 1 divided by 5, which gives me 0.2. So this fraction here I know is 0.2. 1/9, 1 divided by 9, 0.11. 1 over 2, so 1 divided by 2, 0.5. 1 over 11, 1 divided by 11, 0.09. Okay, and so forth. So when I change these to a decimal, I can easily list them out from least to greatest. Okay, it's a little cheap, but nobody said you couldn't do decimals as a check or as a method. Okay. Um, okay, let's try this one right here, 60. Okay, 60. You will see lots and lots and lots of this type of question. Okay, 1/10 of 240. So just like what we did a second ago, is we changed the fraction to a decimal. So 1/10 is the same as 1 divided by 10. So, oops, 1 divided by 10, which is 0.1. So I'm changing this to a decimal. What does off mean? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Forehead? Multiply. Good. And 240 means 240. So when you multiply it, you get 24. That's your answer. Okay. So, Angelina, can you help me with this one? So setting up the same way. So for the 1/7, what do I do first? Right. So I divide this first. So 1 divided by 7. You get this. So 0.1428 da 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 da. Okay, and then of means times, and then 224. On your calculator, once you do that, you can actually just press times, times, and then 224. So that way it will take the whole decimal. So this equals 32. Okay. Later on, when we do tax, you'll do a lot of this stuff. Okay. Okay. But let's touch on this again. Equivalent fraction. That's what we were just talking about. Equivalent ratio, equivalent fraction. It means the same thing. Okay, so a half equals what over 6? Yeah, 3 over 6. Yeah, that's it. Because 2 times 3 gives you 6, so 1 times 3 gives you the 3. So that's all this question means. I just wanted to go over this quick little clarification because some people had trouble understanding the question. Okay. Moving on to page 15. Okay. Page 15, number 14. All right, so number 14 right here. Okay. A lot of people ask about this. So they always say, Miss, my answer is negative. Can I put it on the top or bottom or side? Does it matter where you put that negative sign? No. All right. As long as there's just one negative for the fraction, then the whole fraction is negative. So right here, I have it on the side. It's the same as putting it on the top. Is this the same though? When I have it on the top and bottom? No. Because two negatives make a positive. So this actually changes to a positive. This one obviously not the same because it's one is a negative number, one is a positive number. And then what about this one where I put the negative on the bottom? It's also the same. Okay, but we don't usually put the negative on the bottom because think of pizza. Can you have -5, cut it into -5 slice? Doesn't make sense to have a negative denominator. Okay. Okay, so let's page 16. Okay, page 16. What are these type of numbers called? Mixed numbers. Good. What are these type of numbers called? Where the improper fraction, where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. These are called improper fraction. Okay. It's so improper because the top is bigger. So on the test, definitely you need to know how to change it in between. Okay, you change from a mixed number to an improper, and then change from an improper back to a mixed. You need to be able to do both. So to change from a mixed number to an improper, you multiply and then add. Okay, so 6 times 4 gives you 24, plus 1, you get 25. And then denominator stays the same. So 25 over 6. Okay. Let's do an example together. Okay, so for this one, who can help me with this one? I multiply and then add. Farhan? Yep. 3 times 8 is 24, and then
plus 5,
which is
29,
okay. And what's my denominator?
8.
8. That's it. Done. All right, nice and easy. Okay, so what if I want to go from improper to mixed then? Okay. So you have to do long division. Remember long division? What you guys did since grade 6? Okay, so 5 goes into 36 7 times. And 5 times 7 is 35 with a remainder of 1. So then this is your whole. So the mixed number, that's the big number, the whole. This is the top number, your numerator, and then this is your denominator, the bottom number. Okay. So let's try this one. Doing long division, 3 goes into 20 how many times? Margaret? 6 times. Okay, so 6 times 3 is 18 with a remainder of 2. So what's my mixed fraction? Alvin? Huh? Can you write this as a mixed number?
I wrote it as 6 and
Yeah, that's it. 6 whole and 2 out of 3 left. Okay. Any questions on how to change between these two? Later on, when we do adding and subtracting fractions, that's your very first step. You have to be able to change from a mixed number to an improper, and then most likely you have to change your final answer back to a mixed number. So that's why you have to know how to do both. Okay, last example for the day. Page 17, J. J, yes. Page 17 at 22J, sorry. All right, page 17, number 22J. Okay, I'm doing the hardest one so that if you guys can do the hardest one, that means you guys can do the easier questions before. Okay, when you change it to an improper fraction, it's this part is a little tricky because it's negative. When you change it, cover up that negative and do 3 times 2 plus 1. Right? You don't want to do 3 times negative 2 plus 1. It will give you the wrong answer. This is a common mistake that people do. Okay, so 3 times 2, which is 6, 6 plus 1, which is 7. So this fraction is negative 7 over 3. Okay. Common mistake that people do. Okay. What about this fraction? Can someone help me change this fraction into improper? Sophia?
Negative 12 over 5.
Good. Okay, so 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. So negative 12/5. Okay. Looking at the denominators, again, my pizza is not the same, cut into the same size of slices. So equivalent fractions. What's the common denominator between 3 and 5? 15. Alright, so 3 times 5 gives me 15. So 7 times 5 gives me -35. 5 times 3 gives me 15. So 12 times 3 gives me -36. Okay. So here's the tricky part because it's negative. Which one is bigger then? Alvin?
-2.
Right. So the -35 is bigger because it's negative. Okay. All right. Any question on today's lesson? Okay. So for the rest of the class, again, plenty of time. I'm gonna come around to help. Page 13 to 17. Okay.